In the small, quiet town of Plainfield, Wisconsin, stood a lonely farmhouse surrounded by endless fields and silence. The neighbors thought of its owner, Ed Gain, as an odd but harmless man, quiet, polite, and always willing to lend a hand. But behind that calm, simple face lay one of the most horrifying secrets in American history. Ed Gain was born in 1906. His father, George, was an alcoholic who drifted through life without purpose. His mother, Augusta, ruled the family with an iron hand, a deeply religious woman who filled her sons' minds with sermons about sin, lust, and the wickedness of women. She isolated them from the world, teaching that all women were evil, corrupt, and bound for hell. Only she, in Ed's eyes, was pure. Ed adored her. He feared her. And in that twisted love and fear, something inside him began to rot. When his father died, and later his brother Henry under strange circumstances, Ed was left alone with Augusta. Then, in 1945, she too died, the only person he had ever truly loved or obeyed. Her death broke him completely. He sealed off her bedroom like a shrine, leaving everything untouched. He lived in the filth of the rest of the house. Newspapers stacked high, dishes unwashed, dirt and decay everywhere. But what truly festered was inside him. He began to spend his nights wandering through cemeteries, reading obituaries, watching funerals. He searched for women who reminded him of his mother, middle-aged, kind-faced, motherly. When they were buried, Ed would return under the cover of darkness, shovel in hand, and dig. He opened their graves, lifted their bodies, and took what he wanted. In the dim light of his farmhouse, he began his work. He peeled the skin carefully, stretching and preserving it. He crafted masks from their faces, which he would wear around the house. He made bowls from skulls, lampshades from human skin, and chairs upholstered in flesh. It was as though he was trying to rebuild his mother, piece by piece, in every form he could. But soon, the graves were not enough. In 1954, a woman named Mary Hogan vanished from her tavern without a trace. The townspeople whispered, but no one suspected Ed. He even joked once, saying, "She's at my house right now," and everyone laughed. Then, on a cold morning in November 1957, hardware store owner Bernice Wardens went missing. Her son, who was a deputy sheriff, found the shop closed and the cash register empty. But Ed Gain's name was the last one written in her sales book. That night, the police drove to Ed's farm. The house was dark. The barn door creaked open, and inside hung Bernice Warden's body, decapitated, gutted, strung up like an animal. The officers stumbled back in horror. They entered the farmhouse, and what they found defied comprehension. Human skulls on the shelves, faces tacked to the wall, a belt made of nipples, lips sewn into window pulls, boxes filled with bones. The furniture, chairs, lamps, even bowls, was made from human remains. Every room told a story of madness. Every object screamed with the echoes of the dead. When the police arrested Ed, he was calm, polite, even. He didn't seem to understand what he'd done wrong. He spoke softly about his mother, about how much he missed her, about how he wanted to become her, to wear her skin, to feel her presence again. He admitted to killing Mary Hogan and Bernice Wardens, and to robbing graves. But he insisted he hadn't meant harm. In his mind, it was a kind of devotion, a way to bring his mother back from the grave. He was declared insane and sent to a mental institution. There, he spent the rest of his life quietly drawing, reading, and smiling to himself. He died in 1984, never once showing remorse, never understanding the horror of what he'd done. But his story did not die with him. His crimes became the blueprint for some of the most terrifying characters in history. Norman Bates in Psycho, Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs. The farmhouse was burned to the ground years later, but the legend of Ed Gain lived on, a chilling reminder that behind the most ordinary faces, behind the quietest homes, can hide the darkest nightmares imaginable. And in Plainfield, where the fields still whisper in the wind, some say the earth has never forgotten what was buried and what was dug up again. Like, share, comment, and follow for more.